Alrighty, looks like we are live. I'm George. I'm one of the founders of SoloSuit. Sounds like audio and video are good to go. If not, let me know in the chat. Good to see everybody today. Looking forward to getting started. And we are going to go over some of the basics of how to win your debt collection lawsuit today. All right. So some of the basic things. Let's just take a look at our website. Alrighty. Okay. And feel free to put in some questions into the chat. If you have questions, we're going to reserve most of the time here for Q&A. I'm just going to do a quick rundown on how to respond to the lawsuit generally, and then we'll get into your specific questions. All right. And as we do that, I want to give a disclaimer, right? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not your attorney. SoloSuit's not a law firm. So we can't give legal advice because of regulations. So this is just, a webinar, just talking about basic stuff here. All right. So on the lawsuit, you'll find a lot of the stuff that you need to see. All right. We're SoloSuit. We're helping you resolve a debt. If you've been sued for a debt, you can go on here. You can click the reply to a debt lawsuit button, and then click get started. You'll make an account. Ask you to make an account. It's free. Helps us save your information and store your case in here on the app. Really, you just have to provide an email address and a password, and that's it. You can even log in with Google if you want to. All right, and then once you do that, let me log in here real quick and just show you what that looks like. All right, so you'll confirm your email address, and then we basically just get you a few questions. You can choose your package. A lot of people go for the Answer Premium package because they want the attorney review. That's helpful if you just want us to file for you, no review. You go for the standard package. And if you just want to file the document on your own, generate the document on our site, you can do it for free. All right. And you just have your complaint and summons with you. Then we get in here, you go answer some basic questions on the website. All right. So that's that. And then next up, once you've filed an answer, you can go ahead and settle the lawsuit. All right. And same idea, we're actually going to ask you a few of the same questions. You'll go through this process. It's really quite easy. You just look at the complaint and summons, type in the answers here. Right, and you just answer a few more questions. You'll tell us how much you want to settle for. We'll relay that offer to the collector for you. Okay, so that's some of the basics on the site. We have a few other options here, like force a lawsuit out of court. That'll get you a motion to compel arbitration. Reply to a collection letter. That'll take you to our debt validation letter screen as well. And one thing that I really want to emphasize that we're getting into here, that we're seeing really good results with one of our new products called SoloSettle Premium, which is fantastic. It's actually the same price as just like regular SoloSettle. But you can, we'll connect you with a law firm that'll like fully represent you in your case, right? So if there's additional documents like request for admissions, interrogatories, motion for summary judgment, motion for default judgment, etc., we'll connect you with a law firm that'll fully represent you. They'll take care of that for you. They'll even settle your debt for you. They'll get great terms and settle that. We're seeing lots of settlements happening, lots of people saving money. So if you're interested in selling, that's totally the way to go. That is definitely the way I would go. SoloSuit makes less money on people who are going that route. So it's kind of like disadvantageous for us to say that, but we're seeing better outcomes for our customers, and we are here to look out for you guys. We want you to win your case. So Solo Settle Premium is the best way for most people to wrap up their cases. All right, so you just fill out this form, and then at the end, once you have completed the walkthrough, you'll get to a final screen that'll look like this, and let me show you what you'll do there. All right, so then you get to a final screen. Wait while we work with the collector. And what you're going to do is you're just going to look at this, right? It's to increase your chances of settling 19x. That's right, you get a 19x better chance of settling and enjoy complete representation by a law firm. You just fill out this form. All right, and then this will take you to a type form, a form here on SoloSuit, and you just fill out 3 quick questions there and make an upfront payment for Solo Settle for the basically just arrange a payment with the law firm, and then you'll be on your way. All right, and getting that taken care of. So that's a big win. Those are some of the basics. Those are the basic things I wanted to highlight with you. We got lots of people on here tonight, so let's dive into the questions. I want to help everybody out. Go ahead and get your questions into the chat if you haven't already. I'm going to take care of something here on my end real quick to get going. All ready. All right, let's start at the top. I'm going to try to take the questions in order. We'll see how I do. Not always the best, sometimes I miss people or something. But Hannah, our trustee, Hannah is also with us, and she'll be responding to questions in text, and I'll be taking them verbally. So we're going to get them with a double whammy, and hopefully we get things taken care of here. All right. So 619. Hey guys, I received a sums from the original creditor. Can I still make a case for it? Sounds like you're saying you received the summons. Can you make a case for it? Probably. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. Sounds like you received the summons for debt. You're wondering if you can defend yourself. Yeah, you totally can. You can always file an answer. So usually the best route in any lawsuit, file an answer. Even if you owe the debt, oftentimes it's best to file the answer, and then you can leverage that to settle. All right. So, all right, most people start off this journey by receiving a summons and complaint. And then usually what they want to do is file an answer. All right. Zach filed a motion to arbitrate. Judge denied motion, said I was missing information but wouldn't tell me what. Classic judge stuff right there. I used SoloSuit's generator to generate the motion. What else should I have included? I included the arbitration agreement from the original creditor. Judge set me for trial. What do I do now? Judge also said that the collections company wouldn't have to uphold the creditor's arbitration agreement as that was between them. That was between me and them. How can that be? Interesting. Good to know. Thanks for filling us in here. So you did. You probably filed an answer as well. Hope you did. And then also you did our MCA, or a motion to compel arbitration. And the idea of that is that blocks the lawsuit, forces it out of court, and then moves things towards arbitration, right? It leverages the arbitration clause in your credit agreement, your credit card agreement usually, and forces things to arbitrate, to private arbitration. The judge said your motion to compel arbitration is missing something. I'm not sure what that would be either. Sometimes courts have some really specific rules. I mean, the motion to compel arbitration is used frequently in any state in the U.S. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Frankly, usually it does work. And it is drafted by professional attorney. In all of the states except for some of the territories, right? It's going to be citing the specific law that governs this situation. And most everyone's interpretation of these arbitration clauses is that they do apply to the collector because the collector has purchased the agreement from the creditor, and they're governed by the terms of the contract. That's how they can collect on the debt, right? If the contract isn't valid, then you don't owe them any money, because the contract is what determines how much money you owe. Again, we can't give legal advice on this webinar. Sounds like you might want to look into getting an attorney if you're interested in settling. Sole Settle Premium, we can connect you with a law firm that will take care of this for you. They have lots of experience with arbitration. That's actually one of the things that they do in their strategy to settle, is they file for arbitration to get better terms on the settlement. And yeah, there you go. I mean, sometimes judges make bad decisions, right? Sometimes the argument isn't presented to them clearly enough. Sometimes they might make a different decision if you had a lawyer there. Hard to say exactly what's going on in this situation. You can always try to argue with the court more about this. That's certainly a possibility there, an option. Okay, moving on to Rand Seed. I hope we can address the topic of surprise medical billing today. Not exactly sure what you had in mind, Rand Seed, for addressing surprise medical billing. I know something, right? I mean, medical billing is crazy. Two quick stories, right? One, we had a baby. I got a little baby. She's a little cutie. And we delivered her in the hospital. And my wife did. And we talked to the billing department in the hospital. We said, hey, make sure all of our bills get to us. Make sure they get to this proper address and everything. We had the billing administrator's phone number. We called her every week, emailed her every week, told her make sure we get all the bills. She's like, yeah, of course you're gonna get all the bills. A couple months later, we got a call from a debt collector saying we owed him $40 on this hospital bill that was never paid. Definitely never saw that bill, and definitely weren't interested in dealing with the collector on that. So, that's a good use case for SoloSuit for sending a debt validation letter, making them validate the debt, because you shouldn't just believe people when they call you and tell you that you supposedly owe them money, because anybody could do that, right? So that's a surprise. I think we'll just leave it at that actually for now. Okay, Kamesha. So nobody has had success. I'm not sure what you mean by that. We're seeing lots of people having success. Just generally on SoloSuit, about 30% of cases oftentimes get dismissed just by filing an answer document. I think latest measure is about 26%. And then, on settling, it takes a little while to settle, but out of our June cohort, out of everyone who signed up in June to get their case settled, about 70% or more, a little more than 70% of all the cases have settled so far. So that's great. So those are big wins. Lots of success. Esteban. Zach, that's real interesting. The judge said that about your case. Now I'm wondering what will happen with mine. Yeah, Esteban, with litigation, nothing's perfect. Motion to compel arbitration, sometimes judges reject it, sometimes they accept it. Just like with SoloSuit generally, we don't guarantee outcomes. Right? Filing an answer doesn't mean your case is going to get dismissed automatically. It doesn't mean you're going to win. Even if you have a lawyer, even if you have the best lawyer in the world, you can always lose. Right? Ranseed, I'm 2 for 1. It worked the first time, or 1 for 2 rather. Okay, great. Glad that it something worked for you once. That's great. Stoppin'. Hi everyone. First time here. Has anyone had good intel from this so far? Not sure what you're looking for there. I want to settle before court, but they want the whole thing and won't negotiate to dismiss it. So annoying. Yeah, that is annoying. I mean, it's just a power play, right? It's just them saying we want the full amount is a negotiation tactic, right? So yeah, you can keep on negotiating. Oftentimes lawyers are most likely to settle at court because they don't want to go to court. It takes a lot of time and money. If you aren't getting much traction, definitely consider solo settle premium. I really can't emphasize enough how great the results are looking on that. Let's see. Accidentally wrote emphasize. Yeah, just can't emphasize enough how good the results are looking. I think most recently we had one customer saved about $15,000 on that, so that's great, right? We also had a customer save about $4,000 recently against American Express, I believe. So that's also some good results. All right, and we got let's see. We got Jamir. I've paid for filing and I've emailed SoloSuit for the past week with no human response. Jamir, let's if you send your email address to Hannah, maybe put it in the chat, or you might not want to do that, but you can email us at support@solosuit.com. I mean, usually our support people are getting back to people in about 1 to 2 hours. I'm not sure what the situation is here. Maybe just email us again or try the chat on the website. That would be certainly an option to consider. Let's see. Yeah, usually we have human responses. Again, usually takes about an hour for us to get back to you. All right, fitness. So threaten them with bankruptcy and tell them they'll get nothing. Yep, that's a good move. Bankruptcy is a powerful negotiation tool. Definitely gives you more leverage. All right, let me get a little more light in here. Okay. Let's see. All right. Moving on to the next one. Nikita, hello, I just received the summons and I'm not sure what to do or how to answer. All right, cool. Yep. So if you receive the summons and complaint, you're going to want to file an answer document, right? So you just, again, you just go onto our site, click reply to a debt lawsuit, click get started, and then you'll be in the flow to file an answer document. Then once you file an answer, if you want to settle, which most people do, it's usually the best resolution. It's even better than getting the case dismissed in my mind, because if it's just dismissed, they might be able to come after you still outside of court, or they might sue you again if it's not dismissed with prejudice. But settling it gets a nice tidy bow on the debt. So then if you want to settle, just come over here, settle a debt lawsuit, get started, and then fill out these questions, and then sign up for Solo Settle Premium at the end. All right. All right, let's see. Hello, I just received the summons and I'm not, let's see. I have been trying to get a hold of someone since August 5th by email and chat regarding a refund and no one has responded to me. All right, AK, let's see what we can do there for you. If you aren't getting through to us on support@solosuit.com for some reason, again, response time is an hour to 2 hours. Then go ahead and email. Let's see, what's the best way to get your information over here? I think, again, just email us at support@solosuit.com. I can try to pull up an order for you. Maybe Hannah can pull up your order here as well, and we can get that taken care of. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. I want to avoid court because they are expecting me to pay lawyers' fees and I am only being sued for $2,800. I just want to make a few payments. Yep. I mean, hey, it sounds like you want to settle. Best way to settle, settle premium. Go over there, sign up. We can get that taken care of for you for sure. All right. Esteban, if we are sending in documents with an answer, do we need to redact any PII like the entire credit card account number? I guess you're asking, when you upload your complaint and summons on the site, do you need to redact them? You can redact some information. I mean, usually that information is used to do an attorney review, for an attorney to review the documents. So it probably would be not beneficial to redact them. Also, the complaint and summons are going to be public information, right? I mean, they're publicly available through the court, either online or at the courthouse. Those are public documents now once they're filed in a lawsuit. So in my experience, usually no point in redacting public info. Some cases that are like high level are redacted and confidential, but these ones usually are not. So those are my thoughts on that. All right, moving on here. Let's see. Cool Whip. I got sued by LVNV, filed answer and motion to arbitrate. A week later, it fell off my credit report completely. What happened? Do I still go to court? Nice. Hey, so that's a win. That's a success story. So it sounds like you filed an answer and then you filed a motion to compel arbitration, and then it was taken off your credit report. Fantastic. Good work. If there's nothing happening on the case, I mean, it's likely that the credit report changed because of your actions on the lawsuit. Right, not necessarily, but most likely that's what's happening. Maybe they determine that they can't prove that you owe the debt, or they just want to drop the case. And then if there is a court date, then yeah, you should still show up at the court. The credit report isn't the lawsuit, right? So you should still show up at the court if there is a court date. If the plaintiff isn't doing anything on the case, then you will want to file a motion to dismiss for lack of prosecution, meaning they aren't doing anything, so the case should be dismissed. And then, yeah, just try to get the case wrapped up before there is a court date. If not, you'll want to show up at court. All right, Lewis. I was served a summons by a firm that claims they are representing the original creditor. I reviewed my credit and noticed that this debt has been charged off. What are the chances that this firm purchased the debt, and should I try to make them validate everything? Yeah, for sure. So we got a lot of ideas in here, right? So we have the debt validation letter. So usually a debt validation letter is sent before a summons and a complaint. Doesn't necessarily lead to a summons and a complaint, but usually it's sent before one. And then it requires the collector to validate the debt before attempting to collect on it from you. So yeah, you can send that to them. Sometimes debts get passed around. This isn't super uncommon, and the the collector, they would say they aren't being like untrustworthy or anything here. But yeah, you'll want to I think validating the debt is a good move. You can also just try to settle if you're familiar with the debt and you recognize that you owe some portion of it. You want to make sure that you're paying the right person, and if the collector isn't the right person, then you don't want to pay them. Right? You want to find out who the right person is. Maybe they contacted you and things have already changed recently. All right, we just got a few more minutes here left on the webinar, so I'm going to try to speed things along a little more rapid fire here. Jamir, I received an email stating the documents were sent. However, the tracking itinerary states the documents haven't been received by USPS. It has passed the summons 30-day answer. And if the documents weren't actually sent, then I will go to the court tomorrow to file, and I will request a refund from SoloSuit. Finished and paid for my answer August 7th and submitted the requested fee waiver. Again, feel free to email us at support at SoloSuit. Usually what's happening in this situation is USPS commits an error where the documents have been filed, but their tracking numbers are off. USPS, unfortunately, it happens pretty frequently with USPS. But we use USPS because they're the only ones that can mail to a post office box, to a PO box, which a lot of courts and lawyers use. So it's most likely that the documents have already been sent. I can take a note of your name here and try to look into it. Right, we definitely want everyone to win their cases. We're definitely trying to make these documents get filed as soon as possible, and we want all of our customers to win that are coming to us, and we take it very seriously. We know how much is on the line, and we're doing, definitely number one priority is getting all these documents filed properly. But unfortunately, yeah, it's just a known problem that USPS's tracking number system is prone to errors, and this is one that we see pretty frequently. Let's see. Taylor, I'm being sued by a landlord, no lawyer on her end. For back rent, still have 20 days to answer. I want to just pay and confirm the total of $2,900. Do I still have to show up after I answer to just pay? Okay, so you're being sued by your landlord. She doesn't have a lawyer for back. You're being sued for back rent. Still have 20 days to answer. Want to just pay and confirm the total of $2,900. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to file an answer, but you have to make sure that things are done properly. If you don't, it's a little bit risky not to file an answer. All right, it's usually filing an answer and then settling and paying it off. That's usually the best bet because you're being protected against that deadline if things take a little longer than you think they might. Because what happens with debt collectors sometimes, not necessarily like your regular landlord, what happens with debt collectors though is they'll file a complaint summons, you call them, you think you get a settlement agreement, and then they shaft you and file for default judgment because you never filed an answer, and then they collect on the full amount, even though you thought you had like a settlement agreement with them. Pretty common but bad tactic out there that collectors do practice sometimes. On the landlord, not that likely that your like regular Joe Schmo landlord's going to do that to you. Just make sure that you get proper documentation saying that the lawsuit has been dismissed at the time of settlement, and make sure that the settlement's paid before the deadline to file an answer. Alrighty. Count the money. I'm thinking of arbitration because the lender has to pay the bill. Yep, that's right. Yep, in arbitration, the collector usually needs to pay the arbitration bill. It's usually a few $1,000s, and they don't want to do that. That's one of the reasons why arbitration, compelling arbitration works well. A. Johnson served summons to appear August 24th, went to county clerk with the answer letter, offered to settle for 10%, mailed a copy of court stamped letter to plaintiff. Anything else I can do? Okay, yeah, so you filed an answer in the court yourself. That's awesome. Nice work. You offered to settle for 10%. I'm not sure how you made that offer, maybe on Solo Settle. If you made it on regular Solo Settle, highly recommend that you get on the Solo Settle Premium. You just click that link at the end of the process. You know, I can actually just put that link in here. Let me see what I can do on that. Let me just get a link for Solo Settle. Alright, I'm going to put that into the chat. Alrighty, so if you're interested in settling and getting, connecting with a law firm to fully represent you and get your case settled ASAP, just go ahead and click that link, fill that out. You should fill out the Solo Settle form as well. I'm also going to put that into the chat. Alright, solosuit.com/solosettle. Alrighty. So there you go. Just check out someone's asking about the fees. Check out the fees on the website. I usually don't talk about the prices on the webinar just because they are subject to change, but they're pretty straightforward in the documentation on the websites. All right, just a few more minutes here. Then we'll be wrapping things up. Alexander, what if I was never served? Do I still need to answer or wait? Yeah, so we call the process of not being served, we call it sewer service. Sewer service, and that happens when a collector says that they served you, but they never actually served you, right? Maybe they served the guy next door, maybe they threw the documents in the sewer, etc. Unfortunately, the court doesn't know if you've been sewer served, so you need to respond anyways, right? The only way you can bring up improper service is in your answer document. So you'll want to file an answer document and then check the box saying that you were improperly served on our site, and then get that document filed. Beautiful Soul, I filed an answer to my lawsuit for debt through SoloSuit, and I was wondering how soon should I start the settlement process through Solo Settle? Should I wait until my answer is received first? No reason to wait. If it were me, I'd just fill out the answer document on my site. Then once we were done with that, I'd go right to Solo Settle, sign up for Solo Settle Premium, and get that settled. Yep, no reason to wait really. Esteban, let's see. I think I answered that already. Delaney, I work in debt settlement and tell all of our clients to use SoloSuit. Great company, such a smart idea. Thanks, Delaney. That's fantastic. Very glad to hear it. If you have an account with us, by the way, you can use our referral program to get a little kickback from people that you send our way. Right. Might be interesting, Delaney. I love making people money, honestly, and sometimes our customers need money the most. So we found a way to get them a little bit more money in the bank. Let's see. So you just go ahead and look at. Here we go. Here's how you find out about the referral program, right? So if you go to my documents, my account documents, and then you can try Solo Settle. You can sign up for Solo Settle right there. I have a lot of documents, as you can imagine. Just scrolling down to the bottom, we got this sweet refer a friend card. So you just come here, then you copy your referral link, and you can copy that and then send it, put it on social media, send it to your friends, send it in emails. It just stays the same. And then if any of those people that you're sending to us end up buying anything, we will send you a kickback for that. So that's pretty sweet. All right. All right, one more question here. Rand Seed. I called 5 different law firms in my area today, and none of them wanted to take my case. Yeah, totally a common situation. That's why Solo Settle Premium is so awesome. Right? We're working with a law firm. They will take your case. There are some like nuances where they won't take certain kinds of crazy debt, and you have to be willing and wanting to settle. But just sign up and we'll get you taken care of. All right, folks. That was a fun webinar. Again, I appreciate the real questions, right? I mean, we don't mind taking questions from customers. We're doing our best to get things taken care of for you. We want everyone to win. We're in your corner. Definitely want to get all those documents filed, and happy to see new people coming in. Our job is to help you win your case, get a good settlement that you're happy with, and get you back on the right track. All right. Again, I'm George. If you want to settle, check out that link to Solo Settle Premium in the chat, and get started settling. All right.